Have you ever seen a company's stock just shoot up by over 20% in a single day, especially when the rest of the market is, barely moving? It's pretty rare, right? And it really grabs your attention. Makes you wonder, what on earth is going on behind the scenes to cause such a massive jump? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that kind of event. We're looking at the recent, really impressive leap by Miniso. That's ticker symbol MNSO. They're the Chinese toy and home goods retailer. And their American depository shares, their ADSs, they had quite a day, a really fascinating case study. So our mission here is to unpack the main reasons behind this big jump. We'll dissect the numbers, look at what drove it, and, try to understand what it tells us about resilience and growth in, well, a pretty tough market. We're drawing our insights today from a recent piece by Eric Volkman over on The Motley Fool. We'll guide you through the key bits. Okay, so let's get right into it, put this in context. Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Miso's ADSs didn't just go up, they skyrocketed over 20.25%, added $4.49 to hit $26.66. And get this, to really see how big that is, the S&P 500 index, the wider market, it only managed like a 1.5% gain that same day.
Wow. Yeah, that really puts it in perspective. A 20% increase. That's not just a good day, is it? It's a massive vote of confidence from investors. It tells you the market saw something really, really substantial. Something unexpected, probably.
Definitely. It's not just market noise.
No, not at all. It's a direct reaction to some solid news.
Yeah.
You don't get a jump like that otherwise.
Exactly. So that's the big question, right? What was that substantial news? What was the main driver that sent Miniso flying so much higher than everything else? Well, the rocket fuel basically was a stellar second quarter earnings report. They just knocked it out of the park. Convincing beats on both revenue, the top line, and profit, the bottom line.
The classic earnings beat. They'll do it every time, especially if it's significant.
Absolutely. And these were significant. Let's dive into the revenue numbers first, because they really set the scene. Miniso saw its revenue surge, get this, by 23% in the second quarter. That's just under 4.97 billion yuan, roughly 692 million US dollars. And what's maybe even more impressive, a real sign of strong execution, is that number was higher than even their own most optimistic internal forecasts.
Wow. So they even surprised themselves.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And it begs the question, what was behind that kind of growth? Was it just one thing? Well, the source, the full article, it points to fundamental strengths.
Yeah.
Improvements in same-store gross merchandise value, SSSG growth.
Right. SSSG. That's crucial for retailers, isn't it?
It really is. It means their existing stores are doing better, selling more, attracting more customers, not just relying on opening new shops. And importantly, all three of their operating segments actually saw growth compared to the previous quarter.
Okay, so broad-based strength, not just one division carrying the load.
Exactly. It suggests, a resilient and well-integrated strategy is working across the board. Investors love to see that.
So they're definitely selling more stuff, and across the business, too. But beyond just the sheer volume of sales, what's the next big thing investors look at, especially for a retailer?
Profitability. Always profitability. You can grow revenue like crazy, but if you're not making money doing it or your margins are shrinking, well, that's not sustainable, is it?
Makes sense. And Miniso delivered there, too, didn't they? Yes, they did. Their non-GAAP or adjusted net income got a really meaningful boost. It rose almost 11% to nearly 692 million yuan. That's about $96 million, which works out to 2.24 yuan or 0.31 yuan per ADS. And just quickly, for anyone less familiar, that non-GAAP figure often strips out, one-off costs or things like stock compensation. It gives a clearer view of the core business's health.
Right, how the actual day-to-day operations are performing profit-wise.
Yeah.
So not just busy, but genuinely more profitable. And connecting this back to the market reaction, it's vital to see how much these numbers beat what the analysts were expecting.
The analyst estimates. Yeah, how did they stack up?
Well, they didn't just beat them slightly. They they trounced them. Analysts were only modeling about 4.86 billion yuan, say, $677 million for revenue. Miniso came in at nearly 4.97 billion yuan. And for that adjusted profit per ADS, analysts expected about 1.75 yuan or $0.24.
Wow. Okay, that's a significant beat on both fronts.
Exactly. Beating expectations by that much is, like I said, a classic catalyst. It forces the market to just completely reevaluate. Investors suddenly realize the company's doing much better than they thought.
And that leads to that rapid repricing we saw. Makes perfect sense. Now, here's a detail I found really interesting. In their earnings release, Miniso specifically highlighted strength in its home market, China, as a key growth driver. The CEO, Guofu Ye, actually said, and I'm quoting here, that the outperformance in Miniso mainland China in such a hyper-competitive domestic physical retail environment further underscores our strong execution and resilience of our business model.
Yeah, that's a powerful quote. Very insightful. Because it moves beyond just the numbers, doesn't it? It talks about how they're achieving it.
Right. Execution and resilience in a tough market.
Exactly. In a hyper-competitive environment, as he put it. It suggests their success isn't just, luck or riding a market wave. It implies they've got a fundamentally sound approach. Maybe efficient supply chains. Maybe they really get local consumers. Maybe they're quick with new products. Whatever it is, it's working.
Adaptability, effective strategy.
That's what investors look for, right? Signs that a company can thrive even when things get tough. It signals long-term stability.
A really key point. They're not just surviving, they're actually winning in that challenging home market. Okay, so impressive earnings, strong China performance. But there was more, wasn't there?
Yes. As if that wasn't enough good news, Miniso also announced something else that usually makes shareholders pretty happy.
Let me guess. A dividend.
You got it. A new dividend.
Nice. Tell us about it.
They declared a biannual cash dividend, almost $1.29 per ADS for holders of the U.S.-listed stock.
Okay, and what does that yield?
It works out to about 2.2% based on the closing price just before the announcement. Right. And declaring a dividend, especially a new one, it sends a really strong signal, doesn't it? Just management is confident about sustained profits, future cash flows.
Yeah, it's like saying, we're making good money and we expect to keep making it, so here's some back to you, the shareholders.
Precisely, with a tangible return. Very attractive for investors who want both growth and income. It often suggests they think these strong earnings are built to last.
Okay, so we've got the stellar earnings beat, the outperformance in China, and this new dividend sweetener. Lots of positive catalysts. So for you, the learner listening in, how do all these pieces fit together? What did the market activity itself tell us about how investors reacted on the day?
Well, let's look at the pure market data for a second. We're talking about a company with around an $8 billion market cap, so decent size, mid-cap territory. On the day, the share price moved quite a bit. It went from a low of $24.32 up to a high of $26.71, finishing near that high at $26.66.
Pretty wide range for one day.
Exactly. And the crucial part here is the volume, the number of shares traded. Over 6.8 million shares changed hands that day. Now, compare that to their average daily volume, which is usually around 1 million shares.
Wow, almost 7 times the usual activity.
Yeah, that explosion in volume, it tells you there was intense interest. A huge surge of buyers piling in, reacting to the earnings, reacting to the dividend. It was the market collectively saying, okay, this company is worth more than we thought yesterday, and repricing it in real time. A massive vote of confidence, like we said.
It really does paint a picture of a company hitting its stride, doesn't it? And the market responding with, well, quite a bit of enthusiasm. But our source, the Motley Fool, added an interesting little wrinkle, a bit of nuance here.
What's that?
They mentioned that even with all this fantastic news, the earnings beat, the dividend, the stock surge Miniso was not actually among their analyst team's 10 best stocks for investors to buy right now.
Okay. That is interesting.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it makes you pause and think, right, why wouldn't a company firing on all cylinders make that kind of list?
And that's a really important point for you, the listener, to consider. It highlights a crucial distinction. You see, a fantastic short-term catalyst, like this earnings report, can drive huge immediate gains. We saw that with the 20% jump. But that doesn't automatically make it a top long-term buy for everyone.
So what might be the reasoning there?
Well, services like the Fool, they often look deeper. They might be looking for, say, a more sustained competitive advantage, maybe a much longer runway for future growth, or perhaps a valuation perspective. It could be that after jumping 20%, maybe the stock is now considered, fairly valued, not necessarily a bargain anymore.
Or maybe there are just other companies they think have even better long-term prospects.
Exactly. Or maybe the focus is on different metrics entirely. It's a great reminder that a fantastic trading day or even a great quarter doesn't fit every single investment strategy or time horizon.
Absolutely. It really underscores that idea that even when things look overwhelmingly positive, there are always different angles, different ways to analyze a company in the financial world.
For sure. What's a short-term win for one person might not align with another's long-term goals. Keeps things interesting.
It definitely does. Okay, so Let's sort of wrap up this deep dive then. We've seen how Miniso really leveraged that impressive Q2 earnings report and the new dividend announcement to send its stock soaring over 20% in just one day. We broke down those numbers. That big 23% revenue jump to around $692 million, dollars, the solid 11% boost in adjusted net income to $96 million. Dollars.
And importantly, driven by that strong performance back home in China, proving their resilience and solid execution across the board. Remember that same-store sales growth.
Right. All pointing to a business model that's really working for them right now. So for you, the learner, hopefully this wasn't just about a stock price moving up and down. It's really a compelling look at how strong operational performance
Strategic focus, like nailing that home market.
and, moves that directly reward shareholders, like that dividend. How all those things can powerfully impact how the market sees a company and obviously its financial path forward.
Yeah, it clearly shows that direct link between the underlying business fundamentals and what happens with the stock price, at least in the short term, while also reminding us about those different long-term perspectives.
Definitely. So here's a final thought for you to maybe chew on as we finish up. In today's world, retail is incredibly connected, incredibly competitive, right?
Yeah.
Globally. So beyond just the impressive quarterly numbers we talked about today, what are those often harder to see factors? Things like, I don't know, deep brand loyalty or maybe super agile supply chains or even just being culturally spot on in certain markets. What are those underlying things that truly make a business model resilient, allowing a company to consistently outperform its competitors, not just for one good quarter, but really for the long run?
Hmm, that's a great question to ponder. What makes for truly sustainable success in retail today? Lots to think about there.